Hi fight fans and welcome back to LL Sports TV. Hope you're all doing well. This weekend on the undercard of the Moses Itauma Dillian White fight in Saudi, Britain's only male current full boxing world champion Nick Ball from Liverpool defends his WBA featherweight title against Australia's Sam Goodman. Now a quick look at the two fighters, starting with the champion, the featherweight champion Nick Ball. He's 28 years old. He's from Liverpool in the northwest of England, for those of you who don't know. His record currently is 23 fights, 22 wins, 13 KOs, no losses and one draw. He's been the champion since June 2024 when he outpointed the American Ray Ford in a really good fight. Ball won that fight on a 12-round split decision. And since winning the title, he's made two successful defences. He stopped America's Ronnie Rios in 10 rounds. And in his last fight, Nick Ball stopped Ireland's TJ Dehenny, also in 10 rounds, to retain his title. Now, Nick Ball, very exciting fighter, all action, seeks to apply relentless pressure. He also has decent power, earning him the nickname the Wrecking Ball. And like I said, he's very exciting. A lot of people have described him as Britain's most exciting fighter, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. He's definitely up there. In terms of his strengths, he's a high volume puncher, constantly coming forward, looks to overwhelm his opponents. But he's not just a brawler. He does have skills as well. He does, try to finesse his way in. And he has what I call a low stature. He's only 5'2", which is small, even for a featherweight. But he uses that well. It allows him to get underneath his opponent's jab, gets him inside. He's pretty good at bob and weaving, and he does try to make himself a difficult target. Once he does get inside, he's looking to let his hands go. He's quite powerful. Hooks, uppercuts, jabs, the lot, you know what I mean? But very, very good to watch, very exciting. Must be a nightmare to fight. In terms of a weakness or areas that he's not so strong, I would say that he's very aggressive. And sometimes that would leave him open to being counterpunched. I saw in the Ray Ford fight that Ray Ford did have a lot of success in timing the rushes and counterpunching Nick Ball. And obviously he's not very tall, as I said. He's quite a short guy. And that height will always render him at a disadvantage with taller, longer range fighters. So that's Nick Ball. In terms of his opponent, Sam Goodman, he's 26 years old, 2 years younger than Nick Ball. He's from New South Wales, Australia. Sam Goodman, also unbeaten as a professional. He has a record so far of 20 fights, 20 wins, 8 KOs, no losses, no draws. I would describe Sam Goodman's fighting style. He's a talented, skilled boxer who looks to deploy what I call a cerebral approach to boxing. He's got slick footwork, he has good lateral movement, and he's a good counterpuncher, which might serve him well against Nick Ball. He also has a decent technique, in fact, above average technique, and his defense is pretty good as well. Got good jab, good footwork, and uses his footwork well to control the distance in his fight. In terms of weaknesses, or again, areas where he's not so strong, in this fight, he's stepping up in weight from super bantamweight to featherweight. He's not the biggest puncher. He's what I call a sharp puncher, but not a heavy puncher. So I'm not sure if he'll have enough to keep Nick Ball off him. Very few people do, but he might struggle to keep Nick Ball off him because Nick Ball is relentless in coming forward. So, the step up in weight, taking on an aggressive, strong, bull-like guy like Nick Ball could be a challenge, but we'll see how it goes. In terms of Nick Ball's game plan, listen, Nick Ball is Nick Ball. It does what it says on the tin. He will come forward, looking to apply constant pressure, looking to get inside and unleash his power. Nick Ball will aim to cut off the ring if Goodman tries to move and force Goodman into a brawl where Nick Ball will hope that his strength and his power punching will be effective. In terms of Goodman's game plan, I think a lot of Goodman's Game plan will depend on his ability to use his feet in this fight. Lateral movement, I mean, I don't see that as running, but it's good boxing to move your feet, move out the way, time your opponent, and then make him pay. I think that's what you'll need to do. Stay on the outside, use the jab, use his footwork, look for opportunities to land clean counter punches and move away. So that will be very important. So he'll have to be constantly active, and his concentration will need to be very high, because if it's not, then he could find himself in a brawl, and that's not where Sam Goodman will want to be, because Nick Ball is the heavier guy. I would imagine he's going to be the stronger guy in there. So yeah, but that will be Goodman's game plan. So, in terms of the fight, I listen, I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think it's one of those classic boxer versus brawler dynamics. Classic case of contrasting styles, Nick Ball's aggression and power against Goodman's slick boxing and good movement. Goodman will need to be excellently conditioned if he's to go all 12 rounds and keep Nick Ball off him. It's going to be very demanding against a high pressure fighter like Nick Ball, who has the experience of fighting for world titles and defending it. And Nick Ball, he does have decent power, so he'll be thinking that if he can wear Goodman down, go to the body, wear him down, he could potentially score a knockout or a late round stoppage late. But I do think that this fight is going to be competitive. I do think it's going to be action-packed. I do rate Sam Goodman. I've taken the time and trouble to watch a couple of his fights on YouTube. He does look a very good fighter, very skilled. He's not your typical, what I would call your typical Aussie fighter. Typical Aussie fighters tend to be tough and rugged, and they're not very defense savvy. Not most of them anyway. But recently you're seeing guys that come out of Australia who go against that trend. I mean, we saw Justice Hooney against our own Ipswich heavyweight. God, what his name's called? Fabio Wardley, that's it, yeah. And he looked really good in that fight, really skillful. Tim Tszyu is quite a skilled fighter. And of course, my man, the cruiserweight guy, Jai Opetaia, brilliant fighter. So listen, Australia are producing really good fighters. Sam Goodman will be hoping he can add his name to that list. But yeah, in terms of my prediction for this fight, listen, first and foremost, I think it's going to be very competitive. I think it's going to be action-packed. I think Goodman does have a chance. I think if he can execute his game plan and box from a distance, try not to get too involved in a brawl too early on, I think he does have a pathway to victory, because I do rate his skill set. But I think him coming up in weight could be a little bit of a game changer in this fight. Coming up in weight, going up against a guy like Nick Ball, very strong, very bullish, very confident. I think it could be a hard task. I'm going for Nick Ball by a unanimous decision, but I do think that Sam Goodman will push him all the way. But I've still got Nick Ball winning. I think it could be quite a close fight. Maybe a 1-1-5, 1-1-3, but I do have Nick Ball as the winner. I think it is one of those, as I said before, classic boxer versus brawler fights. And I think it could be the most competitive fight on that card, which is already a very good card, by the way. Just a couple of points of note as well. These two do have a common opponent. TJ Dehenny, an Irish boxer that boxes out of Australia. Nick Ball retired him in 10 rounds in March of this year. Goodman outpointed TJ Dehenny back in March of 2023. So yeah, that's a common opponent. But listen, I'm very much looking forward to this fight. As I said, I do give Nick Ball the edge, but I do expect it to be a very competitive fight and a very good fight to watch. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. You know how it goes. If you're new to the channel, please like, share and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next one. I am out.